Hello there, lovely people, it's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and today we're going to have a look at just 20 of the most exciting games coming to the 2018 Switch lineup indie. Just 20 of the most exciting indie games coming to the Switch in 2018. Of course, do remember this is not an exhaustive list, it's only looking at 20 games, so there are games that are coming out that won't be featured on here. Could be great games, we don't know. This is just 20 of them. But anyway, enough waffling, let's dive right into things. First of all, we have got Night in the Woods, which is coming out on the 1st of February. I don't actually know much about this game, and from what I understand, that's a really good thing. It's one of those games where there's a sort of an underlying mystery, and the less you know about it, the better. And it's got this wonderful sort of popping art style. It's fairly simple, but I don't know, it looks really, really interesting, and I'd love to give it a go. Dandara, which is coming out on the 6th of February. Is it me, or does Metroidvania seem to be done a lot recently? But that's no bad thing, because Metroidvania is fantastic. So this is this kind of exploration style sort of platforming type game, like a Metroid game, hence the name. But the interesting quirk is you can manipulate gravity and things like that, and fly around and use different surfaces in different ways. It looks really interesting, and yeah, again, I know very little about it. This is the problem with so many games coming to the Switch. Next up, we have got Gaku Metal coming out on the 8th of February, but apparently only in Japan. Thankfully, though, the Switch is region-free, so if you want to, you can always just do the thing. We don't seem to get a lot of rhythm games over here in the West anymore, but apparently they're still really, really big in Japan, which is probably why this is only coming out in Japan. Having said that, it seems to be integrating motion controls in a very interesting way, using the old Joy-Cons as drumsticks and stuff like that. Could be really good fun. We'll maybe have a look at it. Owlboy coming on the 13th of February. Now, this is a game, again, that I really don't know an awful lot about, but that is purposeful. I have heard people go on and on about this game. It's had an enormous development cycle, and I just want to go in as blind as possible. People have been singing its praises so much. It's got this gorgeous pixel art style, which admittedly, you know, we see pixel art a lot, but even so, this is really well done. It's got a really nice stylized look to it, and yeah, I'm specifically trying to keep myself as blind as possible because it's supposed to be really, really good, and I want to make sure that I enjoy it properly. Ah, yes, Faye on the 16th of February. Faye, we hardly knew, yay. I love the look of Faye. It looks adorable. You're running around as this little creature that's a bit like a cat, so obviously that's gonna tickle my cat fancier's probe in my brain. The art style is just to die for, and it's running around sort of a 3D adventure platforming type game. Again, it's one of these games that doesn't really fit very neatly into a box, but that makes it all the more exciting. It's being developed by Zoink Games, who made Stick It to the Man, and that is no bad thing in my book. They are some very talented people. It is being published by EA, but let's hope they've kept their sticky fingers out of it. Moonlighter, coming in early 2018. Sadly, we don't know any more than that. This is sort of an RPG with roguelike elements and shopkeeping stuff. In many ways, it's actually similar to farming simulators like Stardew Valley, in the sense that you are kind of sort of building up your own little empire in a regard. I mean, that doesn't describe it brilliantly, admittedly, but it's all about development and garnering money and things like that, and it looks also really, really dark, unlike Stardew. There are also dungeons you have to investigate, again, similar to Stardew in that sense with the mine, but overall it looks really, really interesting, and if it's anything like Stardew, I know I'm gonna love it. Bridge Constructor Portal, early 2018. This is an odd one. The idea of taking Bridge Constructor, which has been established for a while now, and then applying it to Portal, in like the Portal universe, sounds a bit mad, but actually I think, you know, gameplay-wise, makes a lot of sense. With just the bridge construction thing, you can only really go from point A to point B, and whilst you are still doing that in the Portal version as well, Bridge Constructor what's it called? It is called Bridge Constructor Portal, good stuff. You've got to go from A to B, but via C, and then via D, and you've got all these different things, all these additional elements that you have to take into consideration, and it just seems to be a really good fit, actually. Seems odd at first, but I think it could be an absolute winner. Away, Journey to the Unexpected. Q1 2018. It's been described by the developers as a feel-good FPS, and you're given a wooden stick as your main weapon. Yeah, I can't say a lot about it because I don't know any of the fine details, but it looks to be brimming with charm, and it looks like it's just trying to be fun, which is something you don't get a lot of in games these days. Well, I mean, you do, but, you know, it's just focusing on fun. It's not trying to be fun with a message or fun with atmosphere. It just looks like it's trying to be fun and charming, which isn't just fun, but fun and charming go as well together as bacon and eggs. Hollow Knight. Yes, Hollow Knight. If you haven't heard of this game, my god, you need to find out more about it. When's it coming out? Q1 2018. I've known about this game for years now, and I think maybe at one point there were rumors about it coming to the Wii U, but I really don't know that for sure. But it is definitely coming to the Switch, and my god, the atmosphere, the gorgeous art style, the fact that you're basically playing as a little beetle, kind of. It's got a huge focus on boss battles, and that is no bad thing in my book. I love me a good boss battle, so an entire game about them would be fandabby-dozy. I'd probably love Cuphead. Flipping Death, coming in Q1 2018. Hollow Knight is gorgeous, Flipping Death is hideous, but I think intentionally so. The art style is designed to be really quite odd and a bit disgusting, and it really works. It's genuinely a little bit unnerving looking at this game, and I've actually played this game as well in a very early state. In fact, I've got a video about it. If I remember, click that card up there to have a better look at it. It's sort of a 2D platforming puzzle game, again, doesn't really fit into a box in the traditional sense, and you play a character who's dies, and you have to go between worlds and stuff. It's mental, frankly. But then again, it's made by Zoink, so what do you expect? 2064 Read-Only Memories Integral. That's a title and a half. Coming in Q1 2018. If you've ever played any of those sort of adventure detective point-and-click style games from back in the 90s, honestly, there were so many of them. Things like, well, all the Monkey Island games. There was also like a Cluedo one that my friend had. That wasn't very good. They're great fun, I love them. They remind me of my childhood more than many other things, even though apparently I can't remember many of them. This game will take place in the future, in a sort of like a Blade Runner style future, if you like. Not too distant, it takes place in 2064. I'll work that out myself. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, coming in sometime in 2018. It's basically a new Castlevania, really, isn't it? Again, this is another Kickstarter thing, much like many other games like Shovel Knight have done in the past, and this one actually looks like it could be really, really bloody good. On the whole, Castlevania as a series has sort of passed me by a bit, so I'd be really keen to see, you know, just how good this is, and whether it is actually as good as the old ones. And maybe try out the old ones. I've got one on my SNES Mini, I really need to play it. Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, coming in 2018. Sometime. No doubt, as you can tell, this is directly inspired by the original Master System games of Wonder Boy and the Dragon's Curse and all those games like that. We did not that long ago get Wonder Boy the Dragon's Trap reappear on the Switch, and my crumbs blimey was it good. If this game's even half as good as that one, then we're in for something special. Yoku's Island Express, the mail delivery game you've all been waiting for, is coming out in 2018. It's a weird premise, it really is, but it works so well. And to be honest, the theme isn't that important, it's the gameplay. But the theme is also adorable. You're in this 2.5D platforming game and you're bounding around with like pinball-based mechanics and stuff like that. Honestly, it looks great fun. I honestly can't wait to get my hands on it. Crypt of the Necrodancer, coming in 2018. It's a lucky old year. This is a dungeon crawler. There are loads of dungeon crawlers out there, even on Switch now. But this one adds a rhythm game mechanic in there, kind of, and actually, it looks bloody amazing. It reminds me in some ways of Paper Mario in the Mario RPG series, where you would press a button in time with your attack in order to deal additional damage and stuff like that, but sort of cranking that up to 11. I've got really high hopes for this one. I think it could be really cool, and it could take the dungeon crawling aesthetic in a very interesting new direction. Should be good. Shovel Knight King of Cards, coming in 2018. What do I need to say? It's Shovel Knight. Of course it's going to be amazing. This is the story of King Knight in the game and all the stuff that happens to him. And honestly, I couldn't be more excited. Spectre of Torment was amazing. The original Shovel Knight as well. Plague of Shadows, the whole thing. What do they call it? They call the original Shovel of Hope now, don't they? Yeah, because they've sort of diversified. I can't wait for this one. I just can't wait for this one. Any more Shovel Knight is good by me. It can't come soon enough. Inside. if you've played Inside, you know what it's about. You know Inside. It's coming in 2018. I played this game on the Wii U, and for the life of me, I can't even remember why. I'm pretty sure it was for work, but I don't think I ever did a video on it. It's another one of those games where I can't give too much away about it because really it is best experienced firsthand, but my god, it's an experience like no other. You will not be disappointed you play it. You played it. Terraria! Now, this is an interesting one for me because I've heard about it for years and years and years. I've seen some people play it in person, but I've never actually played it myself. And apparently, I've heard, well, as you can probably tell, it's sort of like the 2D answer to Minecraft, but apparently it's now a lot more than just that. I'm really intrigued with this one. I'd love to give it a go. I like Minecraft and those sort of styles of games. I think the only reason I haven't played Terraria is because I play too many video games for work. I don't really have time to play others. So yeah, coming to Switch, I've got an excuse to play it. Lovely stuff. Layers of Fear Legacy coming in 2018. I very recently just finished, not entirely actually now that I think about it, haven't completely finished the game, playing Resident Evil 7, and my god, that game is brilliant. I've generally avoided horror games in the past just simply because they're not my cup of tea, or at least I thought they weren't, because I didn't really, I'm not big on horror films. I find them too difficult to get into. I don't really find them that scary, and therefore they don't really, there's nothing for me there. But if Layers of Fear can actually be scary and actually inject some genuine fright into me, oh, that would be very nice. I sort of feel like I've had a bit of a revelation, because all of a sudden all these horror games that I didn't bother with before, I can now actually have a go at. Although there is still that sort of trope that a lot of horror games aren't very good. Here's hoping Layers of Fear Legacy does not fall into that category. And finally, Rambo! I have made no secret that I absolutely love Rambo. I loved it on the Wii U. The only downside to it was the online was basically barren, but that's not really the devs' fault. I'm so pleased it's getting another chance on Switch because my god, does it deserve it, and I think it could do really well. You know, again, with the whole sort of, you know, just sliding two Joy-Con off and having a go with a random person on the bus that doesn't happen, but maybe a friend who you've pre-arranged to play some Switch with, it could work brilliantly. Just the, you know, the pick up and play nature of it. You just need to say, this goes, this jumps, this punches. Have fun. And then watch them fall down pits all the time. I'm really hoping that somehow they manage to integrate the Color Master mode. I'm a little bit worried they won't be able to, but, you know, maybe they will somehow. I really hope they do, but that kind of needed the Wii U gamepad. Who knows? Maybe they'll find a way. And there you have it. Those are just 20 of the most delicious games coming to the Nintendo Switch from the indie scene. But what are you most looking forward to? Let us know your thoughts down there in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then why don't you towards that subscribe button, and be sure to check out NintendoLife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo-related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye.